Hello, and my delight to welcome you one more time to Cross Cultural Experiences, where we invite people from all over the world, to share their experiences moving from one culture to another. Today, I'm talking to you from the United States, where I'm based. My guest, who will introduce himself in a few minutes, is from Nigeria, but is currently in Ghana. I don't want to reveal his name because he will introduce himself. But one curious thing about him is that he describes himself as a cultural ambassador. I don't know whether it's a title from the United Nations or somewhere. You're welcome. Please introduce yourself briefly.
Thank you very much. My name is Jahman Anikulapo. I work in the field of culture and journalism. So I describe myself as a culture curator, communicator, and advocate.
Oh, you're the perfect fit for this forum. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
Thank you. Yes. Working in the field of culture means that my advocacy in the field of culture is that even as we're progressing into the modern, we're trying to be citizens of the world, we should not lose our identity. So whatever we bring with us, that's the soft power that we have. So my culture is my soft power. I may not be so good in technology, in high-tech trend, but my culture is something I was born into, it's in my system. It reflects in the way I speak, the way I relate to people, the way I do stuff. If I'm
And
not,
what you're wearing.
oh, this design from Ile-Ife in Nigeria. Actually, the motif on the shirt, I don't know if you can see everything.
Right.
It's not, I'm not really sure it's of Yoruba culture, but I think it's, Yorubas are known to be, they attract cultural motif from everywhere and then they appropriate it. I think we're the greatest appropriators of other people's culture. And once
Okay.
it comes in, we don't make it our own. So this dress became so popular in the 60s, in the days of the Mbari, when Wole Soyinka and the rest of them, Wole Soyinka, J.P. Clark, and then the New York Shundaris or Shovison. This was what they were wearing in the 60s into the 70s.
And these are notable Nigerian
writers
writers with international fame.
Yes. If I even see Nigeri, the most gallanted Nigerian poet today, this is what he will be wearing, this kind of shirt. And he wears it in the US, anywhere you see him, that's what he's wearing. If you Google him, New York Shundari, that's the only thing he'll be. He's a National Merit Award winner in Nigeria. That's what he will be wearing. The Soyinka, they wore it in the 60s too. In fact, the project we just finished, which brought me to London, where I'm speaking to you from, the man died. If you see the film, this was the uniform of most of the guys in those days, because we're recording about the Mbari era. So this is the way I dress. I mean, people know that this is me. And if you allow me, I'll start singing Yoruba now. But then,
oh no, please don't go there. Because we need to interpret it. Anyway, that's fine. That's wonderful. It's nice to know because this is part of what we do. When people show their culture so that other excuse me, so that other people can learn, from it. Okay, let's share your experiences.
Okay, well, I have so many experiences because I travel a lot. My job as a journalist, I worked in the media for 30 years as a cultural reporter. Okay. So that means I traveled to so many places and I encountered cultures. So I have so many. So when I was trying to remember many of them, I just said, let me just pick three that will cross continents, and then probably if I have time, I'll do more. Let's start with what I experienced in Nigeria, in Katsina, in Benue State in Nigeria. I was there, I was in the state, Benue State, in the middle belt of Nigeria for what we call the National Festival of Arts and Culture. And I had to go visit someone in a place called Katsina, which is one of the most, it looks rural, but it's also modern because they have some of the higher institutions in that place. And I got to the place and my host was saying, look, don't drink too much because there's something to entertain you later in the night, and we won't want you to disappoint. I thought maybe, I know we have this myth about cooking rats, that they eat rats. And for a southerner, rat is something else for me. So I thought that was the thing. Then in the night, he took me to a place where young ladies, and I'm talking of, I must have been like maybe 24 or 25 myself.
Yeah.
I'm all of 61 now. And it took me, so I'm talking about 40 years ago. So it took me to a place and I saw young ladies like 14, 15, 16. They were naked. I mean, up. They had
Wow.
nothing to cover their breast, and it was saying I should pick anyone. I said, what for? Even though I was a rascally fellow then as a traveling reporter. But
Yeah.
he was shocked. He said, I should just pick one. I said, what for? He said, no, that's the person that's going to spend the night with you. I said, no, I don't believe this. And he said, no, no, no. Look, if you don't do it, then I'll be offended. Offended? How?
Okay.
I said, because it's our tradition. Now, I don't
Oh,
know whether it was a tradition or just being lousy. But when I put the thing to an older fellow who was
yeah.
already an assistant professor in a university, said, in that particular part of Nigeria, that there's something they do too, that they swap wives.
Okay.
I come to visit you as a visitor, and the way you can show love to me, that you can send your wife to me, and it's now left to my moral discretion
Correct.
to do with her as I like. If I don't like that, then they'll bring me a maiden that could spend
Okay.
it. So I said, so why was this guy pushing a maiden? Why didn't he send it? They say it's because the guy was not married. That if he was married, he would have, look, this
Okay.
was up to today. I'm still saying if I eventually write my memoir, I'm going to include it. Of course, I wasn't able to then explore it fully,
Mm.
but it has never left my head because I really saw young ladies naked up. And what they were doing, because I wasn't the only one they took there, they took other people who also came for the festival and other activities in town. They also took them there. And
Oh,
this lady were had been made to dress like that so that we could pick. Now,
wow.
is that culture or is it a man-made orchestration to just entertain themselves? I've not been able to probe that. So I can't say it's the culture of the people. I cannot say confidently that it's the culture of the people. But that was
Yeah.
shocking
But
experience.
so at least from what they told you, the thing behind it is to show friendship.
Genuine love and friendship. They
Friendship.
won't do it to just anybody. Not
Right.
anybody goes in there. But if I'm your friend and you trust in me, if
Yeah.
I was told that they even use it for like a seal of bond.
Okay.
Yeah, like so it's like you know what in my language we call imule. Imule
Yeah.
means to take oath of
Oh,
office.
okay. Okay.
So it's like a seal of bond that I trust you because we have something going together, and I just want to show you that I really trust you. So if I do that for you, you cannot break the bond or something like that, you know. So it's
Okay. Okay.
like
Let's cross to another place, another region of the world that
okay.
is not
Well, the second one, I don't know if this qualifies, but I went to Ghana for Pan African Theatre Festival. Because
okay.
African Historical Theatre Festival, Panafest. Panafest
Okay.
is one of those programs that came from Festac in 1977. Festac is Second World Black African.
I remember, I recall.
So Ghana took the Pan African Historical Theatre Festival as a project, just like FESPACO in Burkina Faso and
In
all of that.
Burkina Faso, okay.
So, and I was representing Ambassador Segun Olushola, who took me there. He
Oh
was
yeah.
on board. He said, since he was old, I should be the one going. And so the driver that was driving us around, I kept on saying, this hotel where they kept me, I'm not able to, as a reporter, I need to experience the town, the city. I want to
Yes.
see much of Accra, much of the famous Osu market, Makola market, and all of that. And it's okay.
And
I'll come
there's another one called Adabraka.
and Abraka, yes. He said, I'll come and take you in the evening
Yeah.
and I'll take you somewhere. So I went with him to this particular place uh, in Cape Coast. And Cape Coast is the coastal region. Apart from Accra, there's Cape Coast,
Yeah.
Kumasi, So it took me to this place. And I left my five-star hotel. I got to the place. Of course, we went to town and everybody was drunk and things. And so I ended up sleeping there. And in the morning, the house where we were had a modern toilet. But the guy said, look, you say you want to experience the way we live here. I'm going to take you to what we do to our visitor. So it took me to a place where in the morning,
Yeah.
if I'm not exaggerating, there were about 50 people on a queue. You know what we're
Okay.
trying to do? To get access into the bathroom, the public latrine,
Okay.
not toilet. I said, why do I have to do this? Is it? I said, no, that when you come to our place, we want you to experience the real culture of the
Okay.
place. Where you are staying, he said his house is not the real culture. I'm still living like I'm in Accra or somewhere. But the way they live in that community, and you have to go there because that is where you go to experience the culture and shake hand with your neighbor.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said, what if I'm and all of them had this, this cloth that you
Right.
put
Yeah,
on,
kente or whatever.
and
Right.
everybody had a chewing stick. When I had my toothpaste, I said, no, you have to have the chewing stick.
Okay.
That's the way they bring the community together. Every
Ah,
morning when you go like that, that's when you shake your neighbor. That if you had quarrel with anybody, that
yeah.
is when the quarrel is settled.
Okay. So it is not just a ritual of going
It's
to
not a
use
ritual. No,
the
it's the fact
bathroom
that you are in the same. Everybody have been brought to the same level.
level.
All
Okay.
wearing that, and you all have chewing stick.
Yeah, native chewing stick,
Yes.
local. Yeah.
And that in presence of the rest of the neighborhood, you can confess what you have done, and the forgiveness is done right there, and nobody is going to refer to it again.
Okay.
He said it's either you do that or during the funerals, because funeral is big deal in Ghana.
Right. It's a big deal. Yes.
On Friday, then you can go, but then at the funeral, there's really no time to do that because many people come from the city and they are rushing
Right.
back and all of that. But in that place, every morning like that, you can shake hands with your neighbor who's, according to his whose wife you slept with last night. You can say,
Right.
oh, I'm sorry, oh, I had your wife last night too. Forgive me, oh,
Oh
and
my
that
goodness.
the elder would then say, okay, look, if a man has offended you and he has come out to
Confess and ask for
confess it,
forgiveness.
you cannot bear grudges. And that way they sustain the peace of the community.
Okay.
And then because you do not want to face such shame in public, because now everybody will now know what you have done. Because
Right.
to face the shame, you don't do it.
You don't do it. Yeah. So
Make sure
that's
you do not commit such an offense. Look, that was very profound for
right.
me. And it made me to believe, okay, so this is how they resolve conflicts in
Okay.
this. And this is how they kept crime out of their life, because you have to come
Confess.
to confess that, look, I did this to you, I took your land, or I've gone to badmouth you somewhere or to scandalize
Right.
you somewhere.
That,
In the presence of everybody here, forgive me. But the one I couldn't reconcile with it is the fact that it was the long queue was to the bathroom. There was
yes.
a lineup of community bathrooms. So one goes in and come out, one goes.
Accounts are right.
I was asking, what if I'm so pressed I have to do? He said, no, you are allowed to go and do that, but come back.
Come back.
That's it.
That's
And I
interesting.
like most of the elders in the community come out, women, men, they're all in that. We call it pakaja in my language.
Right.
You throw the cloth on your. So that was my experience in people.
Okay.
Yeah, this is also I'm thinking I will feature in my memoir when I'm writing
Right.
about my experience in around
In
Africa.
Africa. Okay. Yeah, you said that there was another one because this
Yeah,
is
the
very
third one
interesting. This
was
I
in
like I like the just a minute. I like this idea of conflict resolution and
okay,
maintaining peace, law and order and morality in
morality.
society.
Yes, yeah,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Okay. Go ahead to the next one.
The third one was happening in South Korea.
Okay.
To move out of Africa. I'd gone for the Gwangju Biennale, where I
Okay.
was one of the participants, a curator participant. And we were normally, you eat food in your five-star hotel or four-star hotel.
Yeah.
But this time around, our host said he was taking us out to go and have a traditional South Korean food. And then we got there and we were made to sit down, like in a community,
Right.
cross your leg, and then they bring all this food. And they brought this thing that looked like crab.
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 Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But it's not crab. Because when you put it in your mouth, the thing, it has two, I don't know if you can see my finger, like the mouth is like this.
Right.
It is still living,
Oh, okay.
Living. Even though it looks like they have put oil, they've cooked it, but it is still living. You can see that it is still
It's still
flapping,
alive.
and you are supposed to take it like that into your mouth. It looks
Okay.
barbaric to me, and it has blood. But remarkably, when
Okay.
you put it in your mouth, the thing will clip your tongue. It just clipped my tongue that I must not shout. Even though I was sweating, my eyes were
Okay.
and the guy said, look, it is a food culture that has been developed over time. And
Yes.
it is the healthiest, the most healthy
Yeah.
of their meal. And that you eat it, because I was asking questions about longevity. I know
Yeah.
a lot of old people, they point to somebody and say, oh, this one is over 100 years old. This one is, say, that was what they eat.
Okay.
And they drink something that looks like wine, but I think it's made of oil.
Okay.
Drink it whatever wound or anything you had from that experience, this
Experience.
will uh,
We'll take care of it.
to take care of it. But
Okay.
something they eat for life is lifestyle. It helps to prolong their life. So they don't have, he said they don't have issues like liver, kidney, because the natural juice from that
The
thing,
oil. Right.
yeah, helps to cure cancer. They don't have question of cancer. He said, if I check, there are all these modern health issues that we have everywhere. They do not have it
They don't have it.
in Guangzhou.
Okay. Because of the type
Yeah,
of food they
because
eat.
of that food. So that
Okay.
anybody who wants to live long, you have to continuously
Well,
eat
I,
it.
I guess some people who
Yeah,
are
they do it
watching us might want to travel there now and go and prolong their
they
lives.
say they do it every day. Not it's not something you do like I
Uh,
just want to experience it.
no.
That's how so it prolong their life, it make them that you never hear of people of hospitals, people going to hospital because of what they get from that.
Yeah.
No, that's a major lesson for me. That there are certain things we also have it in our own culture where we say there are certain things you can consume in our culture that
Right.
helps to keep you alive. So sometimes when we wonder how our old people live longer,
Longer. Right.
no, they're still in villages, they're living long. I think there's a lot that modern man can learn instead of the processed food that we eat.
We eat all
Sometimes
the time.
what
Yes.
the content is and all of that. Yeah, so
Oh
these
my.
are three remarkable experiences. I've had others, but
Right. Okay. I wish we had time. I wish we had time to explore. I mean, from Katsina to Ghana and then to Kwanju. Yeah. You call it Kwanju?
Gwangju in South Korea.
South Korea. Maybe one of these days, if I have the opportunity, or whoever that is watching can go there and then.
Okay.
But I hope I can come back with my tongue intact.
No, well, I got healed. When I took the oil, I didn't feel the impact anymore. It's just like
Okay.
you put a coolant in your mouth. Everything
Oh,
I was feeling uncomfortable, I was sweating, everything just calmed down because of the
okay.
oil. You call it wine, but it's like oil, actually. Because in my
Yeah.
mouth, it feels like oil, like you're drinking raw oil.
Right. You just said calm down, like the Nigerian musician. Where
Yeah,
did he
calm
get it?
down. Baby,
Where
calm
did he?
down. Calm
Baby,
down.
calm down.
Calm down.
Did you go to South Korea? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure to have you today to share your experience, and I hope people will join us sometime in future to share also share their experiences. This is very, very exciting. I like traveling just like you. When we travel to another place, it's an education and
It
on its
is.
own,
It
and then
is.
you learn. And
Yeah.
then it's not for you to criticize why they're eating crabs, but
Yeah.
what is behind it is more important.
It's more important, yes.
Uh,
And
uh,
everything is tied to some morality,
it's
some
tied, yeah, to morality, yeah, to everything. So anybody who wants to join us, the address is, or the email address is cross-cultural experiences. Don't forget the S, cross-cultural experiences at gmail.com. Why are you called Jahman? Jahman. Do you have any experience with the Bob Marleys of this world?
you can see that I coughed because it's a question I get to answer even at the airport when I was traveling
Yeah.
into um I have a traditional name. You know, in Yoruba land, they give you so many names because everybody
Correct.
must be there.
Everybody gives you a name, yes.
So one of the names that my grandparents gave me was Eni Ọlọ́run ti dá, kò ṣeé farawé, kò ṣeé fẹnu tẹ́ńbẹ́lẹ́, kò ṣeé lùpa, wíwò làá.
Is that one name or a combination of names?
One name.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I can repeat it. Eni Ọlọ́run ti dá, kò ṣeé farawé, kò ṣeé fẹnu tẹ́ńbẹ́lẹ́, kò ṣeé lùpa, wíwò làá. It means that the one who God has created cannot be, you can't compare yourself to him or her. You can't rubbish him with your mouth.
Okay.
You can't beat him and kill him. You just have to endure him.
Okay. All right.
You get the full meaning of it. So, but in short form, it means Eni Ọlọ́run, which means Eni is person, Ọlọ́run is God.
Okay.
God.
So this one was created by God, and there's nothing.
Yeah, one who has been totally created by God. Okay. So that's one of the names that I was given then. And I wasn't bearing the name, but a few people knew that I was called Eni Ọlọ́run. Someone like Ben Tomoloju, who was my teacher, he was one who initiated me to the art. So we formed Kakaki in 1979, and we always meeting every Saturday. And they have a way of, so we started giving ourselves names because we say we are Kakaki Arts Cult. We believe that we are an art cult, like cultism. So one of our guys there, Oluwaloni Spark, he was just giving us names. He probably did not even know about that name. He just said Jahman. He said your name from today is Jahman because you are our earth order. We name ourselves fire order, earth order, air order, the grand order. Bentomology was grand order. I was earth order. Anta was fire order, and somebody was wind order also. Okay. So we just say you are Jahman. That because you could see the way I try to bring people together, that I'm always like the earth. Okay. Accommodate everybody, accommodate the good and the bad and the ugly. So say I'm earth order, and so you are man of Jahman. Because he's from the white garment churches. Okay. He just called the name Jahman. It was later then I reconciled the name Jahman with Eni Ọlọ́run. It means man of God, Jahman. And when I got to UI in Ibadan, I had other names, Jahman Anikulapo and co. We formed the Reggae International Club, and I was the PRO. And when they asked me to give it, I just said I'm Jahman. So they wrote Jahman. So I couldn't get rid of the name anymore. Jahman.
Okay. So let's put it this way. You have had so many local and international experiences. Yes. All right. So this is a very good place to end our discussion. I wish we had, I will invite you again to talk about other places
I'll be glad to. I enjoyed this.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Yeah. Bye.